Hi everyone, a very good morning. I hope now I'm audible and you can see my screen already.
Yes.
Thank you, Vita. Can I get a quick response from everyone?
Yeah. We can. I can see your screen.
All right, that's great.
Yes, we can see that.
Great. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, May. All right. Since it's like very first session, so let's wait for 2 more minutes because I can see a bit less people in the meeting right now. Okay. Since people might face some trouble, joining the meeting. So let's go for 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get started because we've already waited for 5 minutes. All right, guys. My name is Ajitab. I will be your instructor for this course. Uh, my name is Ajitab. Okay, you can call me Ajit as well. So many of my learners call me Ajit. No problem. Yeah. So we get started with the course today. We'll see what we have in our course, what things we are going to cover. Okay, we'll get started from today only, and I'll give you a quick walkthrough of this LMS also, as you know, some of you might be very new to these LMS. I mean, how you can get benefit out of this LMS, right? What things you can actually get. All the things I will be explaining here today. We'll get started with the first module and we'll go ahead in our journey. So I would like to give you my introduction so that you come to know about me, and I would like to have quick introduction from you guys as well, so that I get to know my audience and accordingly I can plan. All right. So guys, my name is Ajitab Mahalkari and I am from India, and I've been into this field of AWS deep learning data science, NLP, Python, yeah, for almost like 12 years. I've been associated with Edureka and a couple of more edtech companies for last almost 5 to 6 years. Yeah, and I've been associated with as a consulting partner with a couple of companies in Central India and as well as in Pune, Mumbai. Yeah, and I've been working with Gas Technologies, TCS, World Bank, okay, on a couple of their consulting projects and everything. So I have some experience that I can share with you. Guys, I am AWS certified uh, solution architect and I cleared it 2 times. Yeah. So I have that latest C02 as well. Okay. And hopefully I will be, I will be getting more certifications soon. Yeah, I am on it. So that's me, guys. If you want to know more about me, please let me know. All right. And I want to get a quick introduction from you guys. Just your name, country, and overall IT experience. If you are fresher, then give me that thumbs up, no problem. And what is your expectation of this course, out of this course? Yeah, so give me that quick input in chat box, please. See, we all are working from home, right? You can just see that. I'm also at my home. You might be from home, but there might be some disturbances, right? So which can actually disturb other learners. So that is why I just kept you on mute. Okay. So at the end of the session, let's say for 10 minutes or so, if required by anyone, I will allow you to unmute. Okay. Because that will be a lot of disturbances from the background, right? So that is why I just kept everyone on mute. You can use chat box for anything. Okay. So can I get some quick response so that I can move? Uh, Rahul Kumar, for that, you can connect me on LinkedIn. That would be a good idea. Oh, you are Raghav Parmar from Indore. I am also from Indore, Raghavendra. Yeah, I'm doing course only to get better job in IT industry. That's good. How many years of experience you have, Raghavendra? Or are you fresher? Saurabh is from US, 15 years in IT, looking for AWS Solution Architect certification. That's very good. That's clear. Ravindran is from India. So .NET Tech Lead. Okay. So might be having good experience in .NET. That's great. Okay. Rahul Kumar, you can connect me on LinkedIn if you want. Saiket Mundal is asked. Okay. Can I get to know more about you, Saiket? Rutvik is from Mysore. Okay, that's great. Shinta is from Illinois, USA. I have some cousins in Illinois. Background edtech sales. Okay. Expectation to broaden my knowledge and make more comfortable salary. Okay, that's great. That's pretty clear. From India. Okay, Tirupati, India. That's great. I have told 18 years of experience. I booked AWS certification. Oh, that's great. So most of you are here for certification, right? That's great. Telecommunication, Ernest. System infrastructure, IP domain, cloud native experience. That's great. That's great. That's cool. So he's from Canada. Okay. Rahul Kumar is from Rajkot, Gujarat. Nitesh from Kannur, Kerala. System engineer, skill up in AWS. That's great. Vindran, business development. Okay. I'm here. I'm from Mumbai. 12 years of experience, new to AWS. Okay, no problem. Sorry about my throat, really bad. Muralidhar is having IT experience. Expectation is IT certification. You can just see that. Yes, Sunil, just hold on. If you want me to unmute you, please wait. Let me just go through all the chats in that, then I will do that. Oh, Saiket is from Armed Forces. Okay, that's great. I just want to keep myself open for the upcoming trend in IT professional market. That's great. The Suma is from India. I'm having around 6 years of experience in ETL domain. Okay, I want to update cloud knowledge. That's great. We need dialogue, then monologue. Yes, Sunil, I will do that. Just hold on. Yeah. Raghavendra, sir, can I connect with you on LinkedIn? Yes, why not? Just search me with my full name. Upskilling is the target here. That's great. USA from DevOps. More skills in job opportunities. That's great. Ritvik is saying right now working as an automobile design engineer for Jaguar Land Rover. That's great, Ritvik. Jyoti is from AWS. Experience with 6+ years of AWS and DevOps. Looking for certification. That's great. Mulidhar is from Bengaluru. Deepak is from Pune. As your architect, I want to learn more about AWS. That's great. So you probably might be knowing about basics of cloud computing. Priya Kumari, I joined late. Can you let me know all the details? No. I just wanted to know about the your name. You are from which part of the world, and whether you are from IT or not, and what is the expectation from this course. That's it. Yeah. What is this PwC Academy? Basically, PwC is the university which like supports these all courses. May I know your LinkedIn ID? Ritvik, just search me on LinkedIn with my full name. Let me just mention my full name so that if you want to connect, then you can. This is my full name. Okay. Okay, server and network. Lisa is from Canada. Experienced Android developer. I'm looking forward to learn AWS. That's great. Shishir is asking, born and brought up in Kanpur, India. Currently, okay, living in San Diego. 12 years in USA. That's great. Working on AWS migration. Want to be an expert in AWS. Great. Yes. Priya Kumari from finance domain. Doing MBA. I am Vizag. That's great. I think Vizag. Sorry. Want to switch career finance to IT. That's great. Yeah, that's great. I got a lot of responses. Let me just unmute Sunil because he want me to unmute and then he will introduce himself. Go ahead, Sunil.
Hey, thanks for introduction and everything.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm from a DBA background, and I'm at
DBA,
AWS
right?
Services.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'm a DBA. Yeah,
Great.
I'm a DBA since 20 years.
Oh,
So
that's great.
it's my request is, you open the channel, whenever we need to communicate, because otherwise, Udemy is there. That's why I joined this course. Like something, the questions, concern, immediately we can ask you. After like one topic
Sunil,
you cover.
So let's just try and
Yeah.
understand the idea here. I mean, I just want to set that expectation because first thing, there will be a lot of disturbances from anyone's end if I just open all the chats every time, then all the channels every time. Secondly, we cannot, I mean, go on a Q&A every now and then. right? What we'll do, I mean, we have to maintain the flow of the session as well. Yeah, we'll be going on. So don't compare Udemy and this Edureka. I mean, there's a very, very different concepts here. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about Udemy right now. Yeah, okay. Here we are to get best out of Edureka. Yeah. So the point is, yeah, I will be maintaining the flow of the session at the same time, because every time if I just go and answer everyone's questions, no, that will be a problem, right? So we'll have a break. Before the break, we'll have a quick Q&A. Then before the end of the session, we'll have another Q&A. So it's not possible to, I mean, I hope you understand, because if we just, if we just answer all the questions now and then, every time, then we probably will break the flow of the session. Yeah. So I hope you understand that, Sunil. Yeah. So, okay, just a second. Try it again.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely, I understood your concern. But same way, we are mature enough. We can do mute and mute by ourselves, right? We are all professionals. So I
Yes,
would
I
say,
understand that, Sunil, but that happens in many of my batches. Please try and understand. I'm also abide from couple of rules that I have to follow. Yeah,
let's see how it will go. If required, we can raise a
I
hand
will
or
have
raise a
to.
hand.
Yeah, that will be good. But just try and understand, Sunil. I will not be able to answer all the questions at that point only. Okay. I mean, you can put your question in the chat box. I will see the chat box in every like 20 or maybe 25 minutes, and I will answer that. Okay. I can promise you I will answer all of your questions, but I will not do it at that same point. Please try and understand that. Okay.
So I understand, but you have to understand as well, why we join Edureka, because the live instructor, live class. If you just speak and we have to listen only, if I cannot ask anything to you
I
between the
have not
topic, because
I have not told you that you cannot ask me anything, Sunil.
okay, no worries. Let's see
Yeah.
how it will go.
Yeah,
We'll
Sunil,
move on.
yes, I mean,
Keep yourself open, okay? Keep yourself open for realignment, okay, Abhijit? Uh,
are you requesting or are you forcing me to
I'm
do
a
that?
requesting.
Yeah,
I'm a
Sunil.
requesting. I'm requesting, and the modes of the education which I have Udrika, since 2015. I'm using it. I never seen this problem, So I appreciate your understanding as well. And I'm a professional, and everybody's professional. I meant to say, since
So
last.
do you say I am not a professional?
No, I'm not saying like that, but you are putting a hard rule for the kids. We are not kids, we are professionals. Okay.
I'm
So
not
we have
putting
to
any
make
rule, right? I am just trying to maintain the flow of the session, right? I'm not
no,
putting any kind of
even I
rule, right?
no, give us a mute and unmute privileges. Okay. If you keep privilege with you, then there is no point because it's a
Sunil,
monologue.
I don't want to waste time here discussing all these things. If you have any issue, right, please connect to the team, right? I mean, that will be
Okay,
better. Yeah,
okay. No worries,
yeah.
no worries. Because
Please connect
I
to the
don't want
team.
to waste your time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, that is what I'm telling you. Please connect to the team if you have any issue. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right, Jyoti. So let me just give you a quick walkthrough of the LMS. You probably, I mean, we have a lot of people here who are new to this Edureka. Okay. So here we have a very good LMS, learning management system in Edureka. Just want to give you a quick walkthrough so that you can get something out of it. You're going to see I am in AWS certification training course. I hope you all have your credentials in your hands. You're going to see here we have class schedule, right? So you can actually track the number of sessions and when it is, when and what is happening here. Okay. Then you can see it's a discussion forum. There are a lot of learners like you. Okay. You can go to this discussion forum. You can try out anything, right? You can ask questions. You can discuss anything. It's good. And you can just see the support part here. Yeah, this is a support part where you can actually put your concern. Yeah, you can ask any non-technical kind of query. For technical queries, I am here to help you. But let's say if you are not getting any recording or if you are unable to see the presentation, you can connect to the support team, right? There's a great support team which will help you all in all your concerns. Yeah, you're going to see there's a curriculum trackers here. Yeah, so as soon as you progress in the course, right, you will see your progress. Like right now, it is 0% completed. Okay, and here also it is like the grades that you are going to see. Okay, there's something that we have. All right, and here on the left side the panel, you just see a couple of important things. Okay, and here post class work, I don't think for this batch it is required. Yeah, sometimes we do provide some post class work to the learners. Okay, then it is a getting started, that I've already told you: curriculum tracker, grade, and class schedule. And this is the main part, right? I will discuss this particular part, course content. And here is the important part, class recording. Because probably all of you are new to AWS, or very, very few of you are aware of the AWS concepts and everything. So I highly advise you, because sometimes what happens, there are some services which is hard to grasp, and their practicals are also like having lot of steps. Like think about VPC, virtual private cloud, right? So there are a lot of steps, so you might miss any of the step when you try out yourself. So you can go back to this recording and you can see the steps, you can note it down, and you can try this. Okay, it's a very good resource. I highly advise to use this class recordings. Okay, and then this is your personal library. Okay, so you can put anything like notes or anything which I can provide you. Okay, and you can also store any kind of code, or this is space given to you, right? Let me just come to this particular part, course content, because that is the whole idea that we are trying to cover. So the course, is actually a combination of some modules. Okay, and those modules are like, most of them are live, that I'm going to cover in the live session. Some of them are self-paced as well. Like there is some additional content given, okay, so that you can get accomplished with that, right? So those are like self-paced. Okay, so let me just give you a walkthrough of the all modules that we are going to cover. So can you see this is the orientation that we can see here? Right. I'll talk about the very first, that is AWS certifications and AWS free tier accounts, right? Because we have to create our AWS free tier account. Okay, then only we can go and practice some of these services. Right? I'll talk about this. Then you can just see our main content starts from here, introduction to AWS. We'll talk about some basics here. Yeah, some of you might be absolutely new to cloud computing. Yeah, so we can talk about cloud computing, how it is beneficial for IT and everything. Okay, then you can just see second is identity and access management. Yeah, we'll talk about IAM service there. Then Amazon EC2. So you can just see every module is focusing on a specific service. So in this particular module, I mean, this helps us, to keep a track on the curriculum, as well as, we can actually go on the right order it should be. Okay, so you can just see that fourth module is storage options in AWS. We'll talk about networking in AWS. Okay, you can just see load balancing, auto scaling, right? Routing using AWS, then database services. So every module is covering an aspect of AWS. Security management, yeah, then monitoring resources, governance. Okay, and you can see application server, serverless computing. Yeah, a couple of things. Cloud analytics, cost management. So AWS architectural design principles. This is very, very interesting thing. Okay, I'll talk about it. Here we actually study, some of the best practices that you might need. Yeah. Okay. So let's go for this. And you're going to see AWS architectural design too. And now it is self-paced. Can you see? Because this is additional material that we want to give. Yeah. The expected part till 12th module is in the live session. Okay. Then you can just see these are additional material, like migration to the cloud is self-paced, right? Because it's a big topic, right? So we have recorded sessions here. Yeah. And then you can try out yourself on your own pace. Containers in AWS, right? AWS machine learning, right? A lot of additional material. Okay, you can just see landing zones and security best practices. Okay, there are some tasks that you can actually try out yourself. Okay. Yes, planning to execute a couple of very interesting things here that I will try to give you an idea. Okay, these all are basically practice material. Okay, task one, task two. I'll give you an idea when we progress. Okay, you can just see these are all practice material. You can just see exam dumps are available. Yeah, I'll also give you a lot of material, right? Most of you are here for certifications. I know that. Yeah, and that's good. I mean, there's no problem in that. I mean, getting certification is important in AWS. Okay, because like as we have the industry recognized certification, so why we should not go? I mean, let's have proven knowledge. Okay, so exam dumps will help you. Interview questions are there. Lot of different reference material. I will be also providing. So a lot of things here in this particular part. Yeah, you can see. So as we progress, you will come to know about these things. Okay. So we'll stick to the first module. One thing that I would like to tell you guys, don't expect one module in one session. It's not possible all the time. Sometimes the modules are a little big, like VPC networking, that may extend to the next session as well. Okay. It's very much possible here. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. And let me just tell you guys, I will be focusing on both the aspects, okay? Because here, people might expect the certification as well as some practical knowledge on AWS, right? So I will be balancing. Yeah, I will be trying my best to balance it out. I will give you, the depth of the services which is required at the associate level. Okay, I highly advise you to please go through the AWS certification guides. Yeah. So just see this, right? This is what I will be focusing on. Yeah, I mean, there are different levels of certification, like associate level, professional level, like this. Okay, I will be focusing on this associate level certification. So it requires certain depth of the services that I will be taking into consideration. Okay, and you can just see the exam guides here, right? And you can understand. Just see this exam guide, right? I highly advise to see this, because this will give you an idea that which services you need to understand in depth, and which services you just need to know it at a high level, so that you get to know about this. Because AWS is a huge area, right? There are a lot of services. Not every service it is possible to to get into one course. Not possible, right? So I highly advise. I'm putting this link in the chat box. Please take a look. Yeah, whenever you time, please take a look. So any additional notes we need to refer to cloud computing? No, no problem, Priya. I will be providing you a couple of extra material whenever it is needed. Don't worry. Yeah, I have whole plan for you guys. Don't worry. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope you got this idea of everything. Yeah. All right. Let me just tell you one more thing. Just a very quick one. You can see here. Yeah. Here in all the modules, what exactly we have, right? Just see. We have the presentation, which is nothing but a PPT reference. Sometimes I'll be using it. You can also use it as notes or study material. Okay, so that's good. We have quizzes here. You're going to see module one quiz. Then we have demos, right? So I will be. You can see this demos, no problem. There are some PDF files which is having step-by-step process. You can also try this, no problem. But I advise you here, just follow me what I'm trying to do, because I will be putting some additional things to these demos. Okay, so these demos are for the demonstration purposes of these services. Okay, so you can just see, as we have IAM here, we have quiz, and we have a couple of demos here. Can you see that? Yeah, so you should understand. I mean, quiz will actually make you aware of how much you have learned. Yeah, so it's kind of set of questions that that will let you know about the concepts and everything. Okay. All right, guys. I'm coming to the first module. Enough of the introduction and everything. Let's make good out of it. Okay. So, guys, believe me, trust me, right? I'm here to help you in any ways. I have, I have, I have make my learners clear the examination in first attempt only, and they have cleared it. Okay, so believe me, trust me, just you know, what I can say, right? Just trust me. That is what I can tell you. Okay, right? We will go ahead and we will make this journey fruitful for you. Oh my. Okay. So in this first module, right, we'll talk about a couple of basics of cloud computing because I believe there are a lot of people who are absolutely new to this cloud computing. What is this? What are their advantages? What are the service models? What are deployment models, right? I need to tell you about these all things. Okay. So we'll be focusing on the topics like service models, deployment models, right? We'll compare, AWS, Azure, GCP at a very high level. Okay. I'm not going very deep because AWS is the focus area. Then we'll talk about what are the benefits of AWS. Yes, super important, guys. Global infrastructure of AWS. Yeah, you should know about these things like availability zones, POS locations, right? What are the AWS regions? Okay, very, very important. And I will also give you an idea how you can sign up in AWS free tier account and what things you have to keep in mind. Okay, this might be a little theoretical, guys, but I mean, you have to go through it if you are absolute beginner in cloud computing. Okay, let's go for it. Yeah. So this is the story starts from. I mean, this is the whole idea. Classic data centers. Okay. So what do you mean by classic data centers? Let me just brief you about this. I don't want to bore you with all the PPTs. Yeah. So here, when I talk about the classic data center, it is nothing but the traditional way of handling IT resources, or maybe hosting an application, hosting the databases. It can be anything. It's just like a system, right? Which have all the computing resources like compute capacity, servers, storage, networking. Yeah. And we host any of the application or maybe databases there. Okay. So classical data centers were having couple of issues. Like the first, we are limited in this classical data center. Yeah, we are limited because in terms of capacity, I'm talking about, right? In terms of computational capacity, in terms of storage, right? Everything. So the problem with this is capacity, cost. Cost is a problem here because whenever we work with a classical data center, we have to upfront invest a lot on the servers, on those storage appliances, on those networking, right? Space and everything is like this. Makes sense. So a lot of cost issues was involved, lot of limitations, practical limitations here in this classic data center, right? So what we do, we try to utilize these resources with the help of virtualization. Okay, these are like core elements. You can see we have applications, we have databases, we have compute, we have storage, right? Okay, in a classical data center. But what we did, we just added a virtualization concept to the classic data center. Then it become VDC, virtualized data centers. Okay. So what is the idea behind this virtualization? Okay, we'll talk about virtualization in a detailed way. I mean, as we progress, you will see a lot of different examples as well. But the core idea here of virtualization is to abstract or just hide our IT resources. Yeah. So I mean, when I talk about hiding or abstracting, that means I'm not letting my users to directly use the hardware just like we do in the classical data centers. Okay, just let the example of Google Drive. Okay, in Google Drive I can store 15 GB of my data. Yeah, so what is this? Is it any kind of hardware that I'm using from Google? No. Yeah, it's basically a big resource, big hardware, big storage system, right, out of which I am getting a small part of it. Yeah, so you can see I am sharing that resource, I'm sharing the hardware, I'm sharing that storage from Google. Everything is like shared. So how you get that shared environment, shared resources, right? Because of this virtualization. Okay, makes sense. So this is something that you should understand, right? We add virtualization so that we can get some benefits. So you can just see it is nothing but abstraction of physical resources such as computing, storage, network, to function as logical resources. This is very important. Logical resources. They're not actually physically present there. Yeah. I mean, at the end, we have hardware, but for us, it seems to be, a storage, but it is part of a big system. Okay. That's what it is. All right. There are different type of virtualization. We can do storage virtualization, compute virtualization. You will see all these. Like if I give you an example, right? I have a service in AWS called as EC2. It is meant for creating virtual servers on AWS infrastructure. Yeah. So what type of virtualization we are doing? Compute virtualization, because we are trying to get some virtual server on AWS infrastructure as if it is a physical server, right? We can do all the things that we want to do with that physical server. Makes sense? Then let's talk about different virtualization benefits, because that's the story of cloud, guys. I mean, that's why I'm just telling you very quickly. Okay. I mean, we start from classical data center, we added virtualization, and then we just got it in terms of services that become cloud computing. Okay. And we added a couple of more things. So can you see, let's quickly go through the benefits of virtualization. It's like wise utilization of IT resources. Of course, earlier on the IT resources, we could actually run any one of the application, maybe two. But here, using the concept of virtualization, we can actually run n number of applications, n number of servers, n number of databases on a same hardware. So definitely, it will increase the utilization of the hardware. Most important. And as we are utilizing it more, definitely, it is cost efficient. Yeah, it reduces the management complexities as well, right? We don't need to do that manually as if in classical data centers, right? You can just see improvement in flexibility. Yeah, and it is low deployment time because it's all virtual. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of advantages of virtualization, and that's a core technical part of cloud computing. Let me just tell you that. Although we as a users, we don't actually really go and see where the virtualization is happening. And it's not needed actually. Yeah, it's all happening inside the story. Yeah. All right. And I have given you some needs of virtualization, right? And I think you understood that. There were less utilized resources, so we have to increase the device utilization. And it is like decrease device footprints, right? Decrease the power consumption. These all, at the end are saying the same thing. Yeah. When with the help of virtualization, we can actually have the abstraction so that we can actually utilize that resources in a better way. Okay, we can share them. Okay, that is what is the whole idea. You're going to see there were limitations in classical data centers, right? And that is why we got virtualized data centers, VDCs. That's the story of virtualized data centers. And now when you talk about virtualized data centers now, then okay, this is common from a virtualization. You will see that later. Okay, I don't want to do that right now. And just see this very, very interesting pathway. So can you see here in this, right? We started our journey of IT resources in classical data centers, then it became virtualized compute, virtualized storage. We added virtualization to each and every component of CDC, classical data center. And then, gradually it become more virtualized, and you can see the resources are more utilized at a lower cost. We virtualized the network, and then we got virtualized infrastructure. Yeah, along with in terms of services. Like for an example, if I need a virtual server on the top of which I want to host my database so that my application can get the data from. Yeah, so this is my need, right? I will go to a service, I will acquire that. Yeah, I will adjust the settings, and I'm good to go. I don't have to actually uh, uh, you know set up my own server, and I have to uh, get that networking done, everything. No, yeah, it's all there in a cloud service provider. I would like to name it CSP, cloud service provider. So you're getting all these services, I should say all these facilities, all these things from a service provider. That's called as CSP, cloud service provider. Okay, makes sense. So this cloud service provider is trying to give you all those resources, all those yeah, compute capacity, storage, everything, infrastructure, right? In terms of services, that is like AWS, Amazon Web Services. I'm just keeping it very, very simple so that we can go and check it out. Okay, and you're going to see the baseline is virtualization. Yeah, we have the hardware of CSP, right? Okay, I mean, we don't see those details where we are storing everything, like the Google Drive, right? When we store anything, we don't know where it is stored. Okay, makes sense. So as we progress, you will understand more and more about the virtualization. Why? Okay. Yeah. So I mean, let's conclude what is cloud computing, and I think then we can go and get started with this. Okay. So just quickly do that because we have already understood a couple of things, so you can understand what is cloud now. So term cloud, refers to the network providing resources over internet. So this is very interesting thing. Yeah. We don't need to do anything on premises. There are two things, on premises or hosted. So everything is hosted here. We don't have to do anything on premises. Yeah. With the internet, right? We can access those resources. We can change the settings. We can do anything. Okay. You can see the resources are present in the cloud can be used infinitely. This is very, very important point. The resources, or I should say the capacity in cloud computing is infinitely, or I should say logically infinite. Yeah. What does it mean? That means, right, there are a lot of capacity available. Whatever your need is, just go and get it. So it's like pay as you go. You don't have to upfront pay for a lot of money, yeah, on hardware, networking, everything, right? And this is the NIST definition. It's like National Institute of Science and Technology. They give us some definition here. Yeah. So let me just give you a key takeaway from this NIST definition. So you're going to see this is on-demand network access. Now just see on-demand whenever I need it. Okay. Like if I give you an example of on-demand, let's say I am hosting an application for share market. Okay. I want my users to buy shares and sell shares and everything. So definitely I will need my full of the capacity or maybe more than what is expected in like the duration of 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Okay, in which the share market is up and everyone is going through that. And after 3:30 p.m. there might not be a lot of users on my application. So I can scale down my capacity, right? I can save some cost. It's like on demand. Okay. Like for an example, I am running e-commerce application and this is weekend or maybe some festive sale. Okay, so right now I am good to go with the 50 servers. Okay, no problem. But as I am expecting, a lot of traffic on my web application or something like this on weekends or on festive sale. So I can increase my capacity for that particular period of time. I just have to pay for that, and then I can scale down my capacity at any point of time. Makes sense. There's something that we do in on demand. Okay. And you can just see I am getting on-demand access to shared pool of configurable computing resources. Shared pool. So these resources are shared, but we have some settings that you can actually set some privacy. A lot of things are there. I mean, it's not always shared, but yes, at the end of the day, we all are using. Let's think about AWS. We all are using the resources from AWS. Okay, that is why it is like shared pool of configurable resources. There's a pool from which you get some capacity based on your needs. Yeah, it can be network, it can be servers, can be storage, application, services, can be anything. Okay, when you see the service models, no, then you will understand what this all about. Okay, and you can see it can be rapidly provisioned and you can release with the minimal management efforts or service provider interaction. Minimal. Yeah, rapid provisioning, just see this word, rapid provisioning. It tells you that you can get the resources very quickly and you can release it as well as per your needs. As I have given you an example of sale, right? E-commerce sale. So you might need more capacity at that point, and as you don't want to use it further, you can release it, and just you have to pay for that usage. Okay. So you can see here it uses virtual concept. These are like key takeaways. It enables the access of cloud services. Yeah, very, very important. That is what AWS is all about. And very important, pay as you use or pay as you go. The same thing actually. So whatever you use it, you just have to pay for that. Makes sense. So this is something that I wanted to give you an idea of, right? Any questions still here? Please let me know in the chat box, guys. Anything I can help? Any questions still here? Please let me know. Anyone? I'm here to help you in any ways. Because, I know that few of you might be very, very new to cloud computing. So I'm willing that everything is clear. Like I have a tradition in my sessions, right? Let's say if you don't have any question, you can type all good in the chat box so that I get an idea that yes, everything is fine till here. If you have any question, always welcome. But like if you're clear about all the things, then I request you to please all good so that I come to know about the fact. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. All right. I got a couple of responses here. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. All right. Just see what I'm trying to do next. Okay. I'll briefly give you those advantages. Okay. I don't want to bore you with all the stuff here. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I'm getting some good responses here. Great. All right. So let's briefly talk about, why should go for cloud computing? So let's briefly talk about, because that will actually motivate you towards that. Okay. So the first idea and first benefit you can just see is nothing but focus on core business. Very important. Just think about it. Let's say if you are running some IT infrastructure at your end in your company, right? So you have to worry about a lot of things, right? You have to monitor the IT resources for the capacity planning, right? You have to forecast what we need in next few years, right? You have to go for long procurement cycles, right? You have to buy new servers, new hardware. Sometimes you have to replace those old hardware with the new one because the reliability issue. So there are a lot of things that you have to worry about, right? And using cloud computing, right? You just have to be free from all those hustles, right? You can focus more on your business, right? And leaving all those infrastructure needs and capacity needs on AWS, yeah, or any other cloud provider. It's not specific, yeah. So very, very important. Yeah, you can actually more focused on core business. At the same time, you are saving a lot of cost. So you can see the next advantage here is faster service provisioning. Yeah. So CSP, like cloud service provider, always give you a kind of user interface interacting to which you can provision those IT resources very, very quickly. Yeah. Scale down, scale up. These are like very, very common terms that we use here. Scale up means increasing your resources, and actually it's talk about dynamic scaling here. Okay. I hope you're getting this benefit. Yeah. I advise you, please go through these PPTs for more details. Yeah. Okay. Then dynamic scaling, that's what I told you. Yeah. So very, very important. You can scale up, you can scale down at any point of time. So like along with the flexibility in cloud, right? You can increase your capacity at any point of time as per your business needs. Okay. And you can scale down as well. Like scaling up is increasing servers. Like I'm running 5 servers right now. I know that I need 5 more servers. Okay. For any reason, right? So I can go and scale up. All right. And then I can scale down as well at any point of time when I don't need them. All right. This is very, very important. You will see all these things happening in AWS, guys. Okay. Makes sense? Then lastly, we talk about the cost. I think this is the most important part, cost effectiveness. Yeah, because here, let me just give you a very, very interesting way to understand this. Basically, cloud allow you to go from capex model capex. Okay, I hope you can see it. Capex to opex. Yeah, there are some people who have experience in finance, right? They might be knowing about what is capex and opex. Yeah, capex is nothing but capital expenditure. So let's say if you buy a car, right, the amount of money that you have to pay to buy that car is capex. Yeah, and opex is operational cost. Yeah, so let's say, I mean, you're running that car, you have to maintain it, you have to, you know, fill it, yeah, with the fuel, and you have to go and get the service done, right? A lot of things. So the cost that you are having to maintain that car is opex. So basically, cloud focus on this operational cost, not on capex. So companies actually can reduce those all upfront capital expenditure that they do on server, storage, everything. Yeah, and they go and get the OPEX, like operational cost. So you don't have to worry about capex. Actually, you don't need it. Yeah, and you can actually focus on OPEX. So whatever you're using, that is what it is, pay per use. Whatever you're using on the CSP's infrastructure, you have to pay for that only, and that is why you achieve cost effectiveness. Yeah. So I hope you are getting this particular idea. Okay, just think about it. Let's say if you are hosting a web application, what exactly you need? Yeah, you might need a server with some capacity. Yeah, you need networking. You need some security arrangements. Yeah, like it may be firewall. It may be, you know, uh, other things as per the security needs. And uh, and then, you know, you have to run it. So you have to manage the capex, opex both, and at the same time you are always worried about the capacity. You never know when it will be out of capacity. So again, that's a problem. Okay, so to get rid of all those issues, right, we have cloud computing, and that is why you get opex here. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, please let me know, guys, if you have any question at any point of time. These are basic things, but this will motivate you to understand, you know, AWS in a better way. All right, moving to the next idea, that's called as the service models. Any question at any point, please let me know. Yeah, I would really uh, I would love to answer if you have any of the question, right? Yeah, Nikita is saying, can you explain the last part? Which one? Cost management? Ah, yes. So what is happening here in this, right? In this part, that is cost effectiveness. So while using cloud computing, you can save a lot of money. How you can save a lot of money? Because here you don't have to upfront invest money, or just think about as a company, right? Company do not have to invest a lot in those hardware and those servers, storage capacity, networking, cooling, space requirements, right? There's a lot of cost involved in that, right? Establishing on-premises data centers. Okay, so that is not needed in cloud, right? We just can actually rely on the cloud service providers infrastructure, and we can get some resources from there. So there's no capital expenditure. We can actually go and use those resources at a very, very low cost. Yeah, I mean, let me just give you an example, very, very simple example. Like I am having Google Drive, and in Google Drive I can have 15 GB of space. But let's say if I want more than that, no, I can get it at a very, very low cost. So I don't have to set up the entire server to, you know, host my files and everything. I can get it at a very lower cost from Google. That is pay as you go pricing. Yeah, makes sense. I hope you understood this. Yeah, Ravindra is saying cost effective. Difference is like buying and renting the car. Yes, you can say that, Ravindra. Apex is did not understand. This is not Apex, it is OPEX, right? It is CAPEX and OPEX. Okay. CAPEX means capital expenditure. Okay. And OPEX means operational expenditure. Like when you talk about CAPEX, the amount you are spending to buy those servers and you're setting a network and cooling space, everything. That's CapEx, capital expenditure. Okay. OpEx is that running cost. I mean, to run that whole IT infrastructure, you need to spend money. So here, you don't, I mean, while using the cloud computing, you don't have to worry about that CapEx part. Yeah. CapEx is all that is there in the CSP. We don't have to do that. The servers, everything is there. We have to worry about the OpEx, right? I mean, OpEx is a very, very low cost at the same time. Okay. And dynamic scaling, you will understand, Nikita. I don't think this is the right time. Dynamic scaling means we can scale the resources and we can scale down the resources any point of time. Okay. Which actually can lead us to save some cost based on our needs. Because let's say, for an example, I am running a server with 200 GB capacity. And tomorrow I need 100 GB server more. So can I do it that quickly? No. But using cloud computing, we can do it. Okay, that is dynamic scaling. Okay, and after 1 week, I don't want that 100 GB server, right? So I can release that. Makes sense? I just have to pay for the amount for which I'm using that server capacity. I hope you're getting this. Yeah. So I was coming to the service models. Yeah. Today's session is going to be a little theoretical, guys, because we are trying to discuss all those things here, which you might get into AWS. Okay, so let's go through it. Let's clear all these conceptual ideas, then we'll move towards the AWS. All right, so I was talking about service models, right? This is interesting part, guys. So instead of just showing you this PPT, right, I would like to show you how these service model work and what we are trying to do. Okay, so let me just have a new ink. Yeah, that's a good way actually. So basically what I'm talking about, okay, let's change the color. It's not visible properly. Yeah. Service models, right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Service models. What is this service model, by the way? As you know, everything in cloud, right, is in the form of a service. That is why like AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay. So here there are categories of services. Yeah. Uh, we need to understand. And basically, what is our need? We have to fit. We have to check, right, what kind of things we need. Okay. So this service model basically categorizes the different services. That is what it is. Yeah. Let me just tell you, there are three type of service models. The first is called as infrastructure as a service. Another one is platform as a service, and another one is software as a service. But nowadays, what happens with the cloud computing environment? No, it's like X as a service. They are so expanded. Yeah, whatever you need in whatever is your need in IT, we are here to help you. Maybe machine learning, maybe anything. Yeah, so that is why they call it as X as a service. Okay, is something that we should understand. All right. Now, what are these? I mean, how we can actually differentiate all these things. So let me just give you a easy way to understand this. Okay. So what we have exactly in our IT system, right? So let's talk about those components. Yeah. It is going to be application. Let me just give you the core components here. Sometimes we have databases and operating system, basic components, right? Then we have the baseline components like compute. Compute means server, okay? Compute means server capacity. Here we talk about storage. These are like basic needs of any IT model, right? Scroll it down. Yeah. Okay. And just think about networking. Basic components of any IT system. Now, the services which actually give you the basic components like this compute, storage, networking, yeah, that comes under IaaS. infrastructure as a service. So what do you want? You want an infrastructure with compute capacity, storage, and networking, on the top of which you can deploy your application, you can deploy your own operating system, right? You have your own things. Okay, you just need that bare, the whole basic components here in the infrastructure, on the top of which you want to place your own things. Okay, so you just need a server on the top of which you will install your operating system, probably DBMS, maybe application, whatever you want, right? It will be there along with this. This kind of services, comes under the category of IaaS, right? I will also give you some examples like EC2 service, Elastic Compute Cloud. That is infrastructure as service. Yeah, you get a server, right, on the top of which you can deploy your own operating system and everything. So this is the requirement of a company. I don't want databases. I have it. Yeah, I have my own licensed operating system. I have everything. Yeah, I just need that basic infrastructure. Then I will talk about this category of service, that is IaaS, infrastructure as service. Then sometimes what happens, like I have my own application, okay, and I want to deploy it on some infrastructure. I also need operating system or baseline platform. Okay, then I will require all these resources. Make sense? I will need this all stack, right? Along with the basic infrastructure, I need operating system as well, so that I can get my application, I can deploy it, and my users are ready to use it. Make sense? So my applications are developed, right? I have tailor-made applications. I need operating system on the top of which I can deploy my application and the basic infrastructure. This particular idea is called as platform as a service. Can you see? It's a platform on the top of which you are deploying your application. It's called as platform as a service. Yeah. Think about Google App Engine, right? These kind of services that we have as a platform as a service. Here also in AWS, we have Elastic Beanstalk, right? These kind of services we can use as platform as a service. Then the third category that we talk about, yeah, is the whole stack. So I don't have my infrastructure, I don't have my operating system, and I don't have even my uh, application. I need everything from cloud. I don't want to do anything. Then this particular part is called as, okay, this particular part we call it as software as a service. So here, whole applications are also being utilized from the cloud only, right? So in SaaS, like software as a service, the applications are there hosted on cloud. Yeah, we're just using it. So the best example which I can tell you is nothing but Google Apps. All Google apps are actually software as a service. All the Google apps, let's think about Drive or think about anything, like software as a service. You can go and get it. There are a lot of different services in AWS also, which is actually software as a service. Just go and get the things done. That's the way we do. Yeah. So I hope you're getting the idea here. The category of different services like SaaS, when we need the entire things on the cloud, you don't have to do anything. Platform as a service, when you need that bare metal hardware along with the platform, that is operating system, on the top of which you can deploy your applications. Yeah. So let's say you have already bought some licensed software, right? So what you need in that time? Yeah, you need platform as a service, right? That's what is your need. All right. Yeah. So any question on this particular part, let me know. Saurabh is asking, not getting the voice in between. Is it for everyone? Am I audible, guys, clearly? I think there's a problem at your end, Saurabh, because I can see that other people can listen to it breaks. I think it is at your end, Saurabh. Just check it out. What's the issue? Yeah. Voices seems to be clear for everyone. Might be some network glitch, right? But I think at my end, everything is fine, right? I can see that. Anyways, I hope it will resolve soon. Deepak is saying, does OS come under infrastructure as a service? No. No, 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 no. See, Deepak, when you talk about EC2, no, you have a choice of operating system. But at the end of the day, it is nothing but a virtual server. Okay. You can customize your AMIs in EC2. You can have your own AMIs. Yeah. That is machine images. Okay. You can deploy your own operating system on EC2. It's very much possible. Okay. Raghavendra is saying, can you please let us know more about OS and DBMS? So basically, what is OS, right? Operating system give you that facility to get interacted with the hardware, right? So whenever you have some software, Raghavendra, can you just deploy it on the hardware? Not possible, right? We can install it directly on hardware. We need some operating system support, yeah, using which we can actually use that applications efficiently. Okay, so that is what is operating system. Sometimes the servers are made for DBMS purposes, right, as a backend. So that is why at that point we just need DBMS for that. Okay. Yeah, Ravinder is saying OS alone is a platform as a service. No, no. See, here we have choices. It is not OS plus DBMS, OS or DBMS, Ravinder. Yeah. DBMS again, give you a sense that uh, the thing is like sometimes we need a database server as a backend, right? You have your application hosted on some server, but you need some server to act as a backend server. Yeah. In that case, you might need a DBMS to manage all those things. Yeah. Okay. So Nikita is saying, what is EC2? I didn't get. So Nikita, don't worry, just hold on. Yeah, I've just started. EC2 is service in AWS. We'll deep dive. We have a whole module on that. Okay. Sham is asking, sometimes it's very confusing to me understand ISPS, for example, in an organization, there's a service now application. Sham, just try and understand this. If you have any specific question, then definitely I will do that. See, as I've already told you, when I talk about infrastructure as a service, we are talking about the basic basic hardware. Okay, on the top of which you can actually deploy your own operating system and make it as a platform for your applications, right? Then software as a service is like complete package. You don't want to do anything. You just go and you want to use that service. Yeah, you don't want to allocate those compute capacity, storage capacity. You don't want that operating system to be done. Like just think about Google apps, right? If you just go to Gmail service, yeah, do you allocate anything? Do you allocate space or do you allocate any operating system? No, nothing, right? In that case, you're using software as a service. The software is already hosted on CSP, right? Makes sense. You just use it directly. And platform as a service is a little different because here you have your own application. Yeah. And you want that platform on the top of which you just want to get that done. Okay. Like this. I hope now getting these things a bit clear. Ravi is asking, can you give us some examples of operating system? So operating system, we can have a lot of things, right? Like when I talk about Ubuntu, we can talk about Linux, we can talk about Windows apps. There are a lot of, yeah. Any example of platform as a service? So as I told you, in AWS, we have Elastic Beanstalk service, which is nothing but a platform as a service. Okay, makes sense. Moving ahead, you will see some of them. Don't worry. All right. I hope I am clear about this particular aspect of service. I really advise you guys, please go ahead and check out these PPTs as well, because in PPTs it is a kind of um, reading material, right? So you can just see there are a lot of services also. Can you see? Like when I talk about infrastructure as service, we can get some infrastructure from these service providers like this. Okay. And as PS, right? Can you see here we have Elastic Beanstalk, Heroku, Force.com, right? Google App Engine, as I told you. These are like platform as a service. Yeah. That is why I'm telling you, just go through the PPTs. I think you will get a lot of more details which I have explained you. Okay. Makes sense. Because that's not a good idea to explain each and every thing from the PPT because that will bore you. Yeah. That will be highly boring. Yeah. So it's like a reading material. You can always refer to this, and you can just see the SaaS solutions, that is software as a service, and just see here we have a lot of like Office 365. Like think about Google apps, right? You can just see Gmails, online banking services, right? Facebook. They all are software as a service. You're just using it. Okay. You don't know the details of underlying hardware. You don't know about the underlying operating system. Everything, right? It's like this. Yeah, can you see the stack? I have given you an idea of. Yeah, good representation of everything. And you can just see here, there are two categories, managed by user and managed by vendor. When I talk about vendor, that means CSP, okay? The cloud service provider. So just see that here, when I talk about software as a service, yeah, you're going to see all red here. What does it mean? It is all managed by vendor. Applications, data, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage. I just kept it simple, But here you see a lot of things. These all things are managed by your infrastructure provider, right? CSP. Okay. Just see here, platform as a service, right? You can see the basic idea like runtime, middleware, virtualization, server, storage, networking is all managed by the vendor. You manage application and data as a user. And just see infrastructure as a service. You manage application, data, operating system, and you will get the basic infrastructure from this. And on premises, like when you are set up in your own data center, you have to manage all the things. Right? No support from cloud. So I hope you are getting the difference here. Yeah. Now let's talk about this cloud deployment models. Although, I mean, I don't think it is it is something which you can grasp very clearly. But let me just tell you about these things. As we progress, because this is CSP's part. I mean, we are not really concerned about it. We are just taking care of are we sharing any resources or the hardware, or are we sharing any application? Yeah. So is there any data breach, or is there any threat on the privacy? Yeah. So that is why you just need to understand this public-private clouds. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. These are called as deployment models. Previous ones was the service models. Okay. And here uh, we talk about the deployment models. So let's talk about them briefly. Okay. So the first model is public model. Okay. So what about public model? Here, the cloud resources owned and operated by third-party cloud service provider, and it will deliver it over the internet. That is public cloud, right? And the public cloud give you those resources at no cost or very, very low cost. Is public cloud, right? And the resources are shared, guys. The resources are shared. So you can see there are different organizations, yeah, which is sharing the same infrastructure. Yeah, but it's very cost effective solution, but sometimes performance and privacy can be a concern because you are sharing. So you can just see the pros and cons. I think let's focus on that only. So pros are like cost effective because the whole infrastructure is shared. Reliability, right? We can rely on big names like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, right? Then you can just see it is flexible. Location independent, you can access it from anywhere. Yeah, highly scalable. Yeah. Then cons are low security because the infrastructure is shared, and less customizable. That means you have less flexibility, right? I mean, let's say if you want to have more capacity, yeah, then probably you need to do something for that, right? It's shared, right? I hope you're getting the public cloud environment. Like when we use uh, like Google service, okay, like think about Google Drive. It's public deployment. Why? Because we all are users of Google Drive. Yeah, we are sharing Google Drive infrastructure and everything, right? At a low cost or maybe no cost, right? But there might be a security concern for some of the mission critical applications in the business. Yeah. Then think about the next deployment type, that is private. So as its name is, like, private, basically cloud servers used by a single organization. Yeah, not exposed to public. That is what is the idea. We have hosted infrastructure in the cloud, but that infrastructure is actually used by single organization. Yeah, it's not shared among the organizations like the previous model. So what are the pros and cons of it, right? Definitely, pros are like it can be used for sensitive data because it is not shared. You can have a full guarantee that it is not shared. Okay. You can see it provides the controlled level of security and privacy. Okay. And then you can just see the cons. Very important. It's very costly. Why? Because the uh, whole part of the infrastructure, right, is given to you for your usage, right? So you have complete control on it. You have security on it. You can actually meet the specific compliance and business needs. Okay. So costly setup, the remote access may be limited. That is what is the whole idea. Okay. I hope you're getting the difference here, right? So the point is, you need to understand. I mean, let me just talk to you about these things, you know, with a perspective of architecture. Okay. So let's say if someone coming to you and you as a cloud architect need to understand their business requirement and you have to suggest, yeah, what kind of model they can have. Okay. Like I have so and so requirement. I will give you a lot of use cases of this. Okay. Don't worry. As we progress, you will see. Yeah. Because otherwise you won't be able to understand anything. Yeah. So just try and understand this and with couple of use cases that I'm going to give you, you will understand the whole idea. Okay. And let me just tell you guys, those use cases are nothing but the scenarios, which can also be asked in examination. It's scenario based exam here in certification, right? So you should understand the way you can actually understand the scenario. You should understand the business requirement, and then you can actually choose. Okay. So just see. The next is hybrid environment. As this name suggests, yeah, it actually keeps two things like private and public both. So keep some servers on premises, yeah, or maybe extended to some cloud. Yeah, it is very much possible. One thing that I would like to tell you here, you can just see here, we have some hardware, some infrastructure, yeah, which is shared, which is shared. So like some of the things are on premises or maybe third party hosted on cloud, and some of them are exclusively for you. So like mix of public and private. Okay, you're gonna see some mix of public and private cloud. Non-critical exercises are performed by utilizing public cloud. So there might be like five requirements, yeah, and out of two might be good enough to get hosted on public cloud. While some necessary services you might need exclusive performance, security, privacy, then you should go for private cloud. So you can actually set up a mix of these things. It's a good idea, right? So you can just see the pros are highly scalable, cost-effective approach, of course, because you are leveraging public cloud as well as private cloud. So public cloud will give you that cost effectiveness, and private cloud will be highly scalable and uh, like security and privacy, everything, full performance. But there are cons. It requires more maintenance, right? Initial cost to activate the infrastructure is high because you need to set up multiple things here. But apart from this cons, it is very, very advantageous. Yeah, that I can tell you. most of the companies looking for this kind of solution, because at the end they want to save some cost as well, right? Makes sense. This is the way you can actually think about the hybrid model. There's one more model which I want to discuss quickly. It's called as community model. What is this idea? Let me just tell you here. We are actually sharing the infrastructure with the organizations which have common concerns and common business requirements. Okay, just think about, let's say, I have TCS offices. Definitely, there are TCS offices worldwide. Yeah, so you might need very similar kind of requirements. Or just think about petrol pump owners, fuel pump owners, right? They might have very similar requirements, right? So what you can do here, you can share the infrastructure, yeah, with a single governance. Yeah, let's say there are BPCL petrol pumps. So BPCL is controlling all those infrastructure cloud, but it's shared among all those BPCL petrol pumps. Can you see that? So this actually brings us cost effectiveness. Yeah, because uh, at the same time you are sharing the resources, you are saving some cost, and all the requirements can also be addressed here at the same time. Okay, there's something very interesting. Just see, it is for the business communities with common concerns like security, compliance, jurisdictions, and everything. Yeah, they can make use of this community cloud. There are a couple of pros, right? Flexibility and scalability. Okay, security, compliance, controlled privacy, right? A lot of different advantages. But there are some cons, like fixed amount of data storage, bandwidth is shared. So I mean, how you will be sharing those bandwidth and storage and other capacities with the organization. That is what is the only problem. It is little difficult to do that. Okay, but anyways, it has got some advantages. That is what is cost, right? In cloud, we talk about cost a lot. Yeah, so you will see that cost effectiveness as the whole, many times. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So I got some questions in this. Let me just yeah. Okay. Nikita is asking how clouds are cost effective. Can you explain? Uh, Nikita, I mean, when you talk about cost effectiveness, no, the point is you are not actually uh, investing on the hardware or investing on the infrastructure, I should say. Can you see that? At the same time, you're getting it from the cloud service provider. So don't you think here the cost will be very less while using those services? Okay, I hope it makes sense. Is community cloud also part of hybrid cloud? No, not yet. That's a different setup. Right? Community cloud is a way actually, uh, using which similar organizations can share something. So when I talk about private cloud, no, there's a very high cost. But if there are similar organizations, they can share that resource so that the cost can be shared among different organizations. Okay, and that's how it become a little less expensive. Yeah. So Ravi is asking some example of hybrid cloud and use cases of hybrid cloud. You will see that when we progress, right? Right now, it's not a right time. Yeah. As we progress, you will see all those things in action. Don't worry. So just hold on with that. If there's any alternative example of community cloud, so just think about development organizations or maybe manufacturing firms. It can be any, right? Which are having common practices in place. Okay, Deepak. All right. So guys, here I'm just trying to give you the idea about the community cloud and deployment cloud, anything, right? I advise you, right, to go that extra miles. Just try to explore all these things, right? Because like we have limited time. We are just trying to cover as many things as possible. Okay. So I want your cooperation now, right? As we have discussed a couple of things in this session, and then I advise you, please go and explore those things by yourself. Yeah. Then you will understand it in a better way. That is what my humble advice is. Yeah. Because I mean, when I am explaining you, it's still mine, right? When you understand it, it will be yours. Yeah. So how will you understand it? You have to make your own efforts to explore all these things. Then only we will learn, right? That is what I just want to tell you. Okay. So this is like a comparison between the popular cloud service providers. Okay. I think we have skipped the break today. Yeah. Although, I have the usual habit of giving you early breaks. So don't worry. I will be having early breaks from tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Okay. I don't want to exert you. Okay. I will be giving early breaks. So right now, I mean, we spend some time in introduction and those parts. That is why I'm not giving you a break today. But tomorrow onwards, we will be having a break. Don't worry. Okay. So here, it is giving you some cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP, right? In terms of different things. But I can brief you, right? Uh, all of them might be having very, very similar type of services, right? Like here in storage part, we have S3 in Amazon. S3 is simple storage service. S3, okay? There are three S. EC2 servers, EC2 containers, right? Deployment like Elastic Beanstalk, Cloud 53, a lot of different services. Okay. And then you can just see in Azure, we have blob storage, right? Here we have GCP like storage. Okay. So very similar approaches. But at the end, I would like to tell you is like around 42% of the market, right? You can Google it. Yeah. 42% of the market is captured by AWS. Right, that is why AWS is very popular. Yeah, AWS is having a lot of industry recognitions, right? So that is why I'm just trying to tell you, right? Whole LMS is hosted on AWS. Let me just tell you that. Okay, AWS is used by many of the big giants. Yeah, like Netflix is using AWS for a lot of its hosting and everything. Dropbox is using a couple of things. Airbnb, NASA, they're using AWS, as a reliable uh, cloud computing provider. So we'll focus more on that. Okay. Yeah. So here we have Amazon Web Services. I'll introduce you, and then I'll quickly move towards uh, the free tier account. Right. I want to introduce that because I want you people to open that, create that AWS free tier account. Yeah. So that you can get some hands-on, you can get some practice on the services. Yeah. So let me just give you a quick introduction about the AWS, right? So as we have discussed a lot, right? We need cloud resources so that we can have our applications, we can have our like everything hosted on that, right? Storage, maybe anything. Yeah. So here AWS give you that facility, right? AWS enable you to build sophisticated and scalable applications. You can host them. Yeah, it can be any type, like it can be enterprise IT, it can be backup and storage, it can be big data analytics. Yeah, it can be web applications hosting, mobile applications, social apps, gaming apps, it can be anything. Okay, I give you all those capacities that you need. So it offers, yeah, compute power, it offers databases, it offers storage, yeah, it offers content delivery and other resources to help the business and scale up, grow. Yeah, so very interesting. And AWS was launched initially in 2006. You can just see that. Now this is older data, right? AWS has got almost 400 plus services now. Yeah, so it's a big catalog of services over in AWS. Okay, where we can choose the AWS services based on our needs. We can configure it based on our needs, right? And we can go for this. Yeah, as I've already told you, a lot of tech giants are using the AWS as a reliable source of uh, resources. Yeah, think about McDonald's. McDonald's is using extensively. Yeah, a lot of different examples like this. Okay, as I've already told you, 46% market share is with AWS. Okay, and I think that is why you are here, right? To learn AWS. You might be knowing, hey, a lot of benefits. These benefits are same as your cloud benefits. I don't want to repeat it once again. Yeah. Yes, I will come to this global infrastructure part. But before that, I would like to introduce the free tier account because I want you people to create that. There are something that you should understand about free tier account. Yeah, there are some warnings. There are some cautions that we have to take care of, right? Because we will be using. I mean, I am also using free tier account. Yeah, you also can use it. Okay. Then I'll talk about this global infrastructure component if time permits today. Otherwise, tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let me just give you the idea about the free tier account. So basically, free tier account is a way you can actually access all those services at no cost, right? So definitely, when we talk about no cost, that means you have limited capacity, you have limited options. Yeah, uh, I mean something that you should understand here. But as if we are trying to practice those services, no? So this is good enough to get started with the AWS. Okay, so you can just see, get started with AWS free tier. It's like gain free hands-on experience with AWS products and services. Okay, so there are some services available here in free tier, which is like freely available. You can experiment with this. I mean, it's a kind of more experimental. Yeah. Okay. So you can sign into the console if you have already, or alternatively, you can create your AWS account. Yeah. One thing that I would like to tell you guys, this creation of this AWS free tier account will require some payment method to add, right? Maybe debit card, credit card, maybe UPI or something like this. But don't worry about this. You will not be charged directly. Like let's say if you have added credit card, which is required here, okay, to create this free tier account, then you will not be charged directly. Don't worry. It will be a bill generated, and then you can actually pay it. But if you just follow my advice, if you just go as I said, then it's a very rare that you will get some surprises in the bills. Okay, it's very rare. But you need to understand. You need to remember all those things. So, like the first practice that I'm going to do is like whenever I use any of the service in free tier, yeah, I have to release it as my experiment is ended. Okay, I have to be within those limits. I will explain you those limits. Then I will not be charged at all. Don't worry. Yeah, but if I go beyond those limits, if I forget to release those resources, I'm keeping it running. Then I will be charged. I will be billed. Yeah, I will have to pay it then. Yeah, so this is something that you should understand. Okay. In free tier, right? Let me just give you these three type of offerings by AWS, like free trials, 12 months free, and always free. So there are a couple of services which are always free in free tier. I mean, you don't have to pay for it. Like auto scaling group, that's the service we are absolutely having free. IAM service, right? So, and then we have 12 months free. So you will get those services for 12 months with some limited capacity per month. Yeah, and then free trials as well. There are some services which you can try out. Okay. Let me just tell you about those limits. It's super important, guys. Okay, just pay attention to this particular idea. Otherwise, you will have some surprises in at the end of the month. Okay, so I don't want that, right? I always try my learners not to pay anything. Yeah, but you have to understand this. Okay, so can you see these limits, right? Just see. Like when I talk about the EC2 service, which I'll be using most of the time, you have 750 hours per month. Can you see that? So this is your idea. One thing that you should understand, I mean, people ask me that, I mean, if you just multiply 24 hours with 30, it will be less than the mentioned hours. But just try and understand, it is the total capacity. Okay, total capacity. Let's say if you're running, multiple EC2 instances, okay, then you will be charged a total of it. Are you getting this? So this is not enough, okay, but good for practice purpose. No problem with that. So let's say if you just run your EC2 instances, you release them when you don't need them, then you're good to go. I mean, you will be within that limit. Don't worry. And we have similar limits, like when you talk about the storage, think about the storage. Here, we talk about the storage as S3. That's the basic service here. Yeah. So can you see, we are allowed to store 5 GB of the standard storage. Yeah, we can store 5 GB of the data. You can think about EFS here, 5 GB, Elastic Beanstalk 30 GB, right? The different capacities. So I highly advise just go through these capacities, right? And just follow my best practices, guys. I think then you will be within that free tier limits, and you can also experience the AWS in a better way. Okay. So I'm just sending this link in a chat box, right? You can just explore this in a better way. It's a big, long link. Although you can Google it, you will land up on this page only. Yeah. So you have to create an account here, AWS Reader account. And let me just give you an idea that how you can actually sign up after that. So you just have to sign in after creating of the account, right? Then you will end up in this login page, right? So one thing that you should understand, there's a same page for IAM users as well. Can you see sign in as an IAM user? So I'm not going to log in with IAM user. I just want to be owner of my account. So I will use this link. Can you see sign in using root user email? I will talk about what is IAM user, okay, and how it is created. What is the advantage of it? Don't worry. We will also create a user and log in with that. It's possible, everything, right? But right now I will be using this option, sign in as a root user. So root actually is nothing but owner of the account owner. So you're a root user. I will talk about different type of users in AWS. So just wanted to give you a glimpse of it. Yeah, I have multiple accounts. So when I sign in with my account, you can also add, extra layer of security if you want. It's not required in this case, right? You can add a pass keys or security keys. Yeah. You can use authenticator apps like Google Auth or Amazon Authy kind of hardware tokens, right? It's not required. It's MFA, multi-factor authentication. Okay. So right now I don't need. Okay. So let's skip it for now. It's for sensitive accounts because the root user has got all the control of your account. It can delete any user, it can create new user, it can do anything. Okay, like this. So this is my console. I hope you can see it. Yeah, this is the real size of console. So this console is really handy, right? We can actually navigate to different apps here, different services from this console. You can see some recently visited applications. Yeah, you can explore this particular part as well, like my application, all services. My application is not exactly our need, right? We are really concerned about the architecture part here. Yeah. So mostly in our course, we'll play with the services, guys. Okay. Like we pick up one service, we'll deep dive into that service. Then we'll open some threads like supporting services. Okay. Like we talk about EC2 service. Then we'll talk about EBS, like Elastic Block Storage, then EFS. Okay. One thing that I would like to tell you guys, I will keep this in mind that you might be asked with the scenarios. Okay. So the point is, whenever you get some scenario, right, you need to know details of those service. Okay. That is highly required. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you all those details of services. What are different configuration options, right? What exactly you can do with that with couple of demos and all the things. Then probably you will actually match it with the scenarios that you have been asked in the examination. That's what I just want to tell you. Okay. So, I mean, I will give you some of these scenarios. Let me just show you something. Yeah. So let me just give you some use cases so that you can understand what is going to be my action plan. Yeah. So just see this use case. Okay. So this use case tells us, I will share all these use cases with you. Don't worry. So can you see that a company is hosting a web application on AWS using single Amazon EC2 instance that stores user uploaded documents in Amazon EBS. EBS is a storage solution. For better scalability and availability, the company duplicated the architecture and created second EC2 instance and EBS volume. So one more, it is backup server. Okay. In another availability zone, I'll talk about availability zone. Placing both behind an application load balancer, another service. Yeah. After completing this change, user reported that each time they refreshed the website, they could see one subset of their document or the other, but never all the documents at the same time. What should be the possible solution for this? Yeah. So here, as an architect, right, I am talking about AWS certified solution architect. Okay. You have to think about this requirement. You have to actually understand what is the configuration setting that you can do here in EC2 so that you can get this problem solved. Okay, that is what is your job. Makes sense. So you can just see the possible solutions can be copy the data from both EBS volumes to Amazon EFS. It's better because it's shared. Modify the application to save new documents to EFS. So instead of EBS, I'm suggesting to use EFS, that is Elastic File Storage or file system. Okay. So you can just see here's the advice from architecture principle. Makes sense. So this is your job, and this kind of questions are asked in question examination, as you people are like expecting certifications. This is important. Yeah. So if you don't deep dive into those service, no, it's not possible to actually match these requirements with all those configurations. So my approach will be like this. Yeah, I will be giving you some details of those services. Then I will be picking up some use cases. Then I will be telling you some of the possible solutions on it. And let me just tell you guys, these use cases are nothing but real-time exam questions. Yes. I want to give you that glimpse, right? So that you can have some idea that how. So this is a real exam question, by the way. Yeah. So that you can get an idea also what kind of, what is the way they are trying to assess you. Okay. On what basis they're trying to assess you. Okay. This is something that I will tell you, when we progress in every like this. Yeah, I would like to give you, and one thing that I would like to give you guys, uh, when I talk about the services, right, I know at what level you need to get expertise on those services. So I will be balancing out. Sometimes I will really deep dive into that service. I will tell you each and everything of it. Sometimes I'll give you a high level overview of that service. Yeah, I know what is the requirement here. What is the balance? Because there are different levels. Okay, so I am here will be taking care of associate level only. Okay, and that's the first step, right? Okay, and then sky is the limit, right? You can just see that we have 36 hours. In those 36 hours, we probably have to cover each and every important service, from AWS. So I will be doing that. Okay, but I want support from you guys, right? I will tell you all those things. It's your duty, right, to revise those things, to get more and more details if you want. Yeah. That is what is expectation from you. Yeah, it's like a shared responsibility of you and me, right? I just want to set right expectation on the very first day of this training, so that everything goes smooth and we can actually enjoy our journey together, right? Any questions, guys? Please let me know. Any questions still here? I will start using this console, right? I think tomorrow onwards, we'll be checking it out. So I know the depth of the requirement of the service, right? Right. So I will do it accordingly. Please follow me. That's my humble advice, right? Jyoti is saying all good. Thank you so much, Jyoti, for that quick response. Anyone, I'm pausing here. If you want any clarification, anything. Unless we'll talk about EBS and EFS, don't worry. But EBS is a block storage. That's a kind of storage to your server. Yeah, you have hard disk, right? In your laptops. You have SSDs. That's nothing but with the EC2 instances. Yeah. So with the virtual servers, when you have storage, that's EBS. And when you have a kind of file system is always shared, right? So that is going to be EFS, Elastic File System. We'll be experimenting with that. Don't worry, we'll deep dive. I've not started with the service yet. Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone? Please let me know. Sham is saying once clarification, each of us will have to set up our own free tier account for this training, right? Yes, each of us. Yeah, there will be individual account. Deepak is saying, will this course good to clear AWS solution architect? That's a tricky question, Deepak. Let me just tell you. After the end of this course, you have to practice those services, because practice is needed on that, right? Solution architect examination is not that easy, because it asks you all these scenario based questions, right? So if you don't have enough of the conceptual idea along with the hands on, then you probably might not be able to clear that. Yeah. So my advice will be, like, I mean, what I have experienced in past batches, right? My advice will be, after the end of this course, take your time. It's not a race, right? Try to spend at least 1 or 2 months on AWS, right? Try to practice the services. Try to have hands-on it. Yeah. Then you book your exam, and then I'm very sure you will be able to clear it. So we are actually covering all the requirements uh, of the examination. But at the same time, you need to go that extra miles. Like, you have to understand that, you have to practice, and you have to absorb all those things. So I would not say that right after this course you should book the examination, it will be clear. No, I don't want to falsify that. It is not a good way. Yeah, after this course, you should practice. You should see some sample questions. You should practice those. I will give you some resources where you can actually find those sample questions or real-time questions as well. Let me just tell you. I mean, you will not have that real questions in your examination, but you will get an idea that how it has been asked. Okay. So you need some time after this course. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to tell you. Oval is asking something. Sample certification questions will be provided. Yes, I will. I personally will provide it. There are sample questions in the LMS as well. So don't worry. I will support you in whatever manner I can, man. Yeah, don't worry. I have a lot of history of learners, right, who just clear the certification exams in single attempt if they just followed my advices and everything. I don't want to give you that overconfidence. You have to put your efforts. Yeah, then only you will be able to clear it up. Yeah, it's not cup of cake. It's not cupcake that you just put it in, but it's not impossible as well, right? It's not very, very difficult as well, like I would say. So that is what I wanted to tell you. anything more? I mean, I am as we have some time left with us in session. I'm not moving ahead with anything new today. Yeah. As we have not taken any break or anything right in between. So I would like you to just explore in in like remaining 10 minutes. Just explore the presentation. It's more of like theoretical. I will talk about this global infrastructure. Yeah, don't worry about this. I have to cover this. But till here, any issue, just have a quick recap. I'm just trying to ask the people who are absolutely new to this cloud computing. Yeah. All right. So just take a look into those things. And I'm here, right, for like next 10 minutes. I will be answering your questions. I don't know what is that exact association, Deepak, but it is here to help you, right? Before, I mean, a couple of you might be leaving the meeting. Yeah. Just want to give you an idea here. Yeah. So because it's the first session, probably you should know about this. There's a feedback system in Edureka. Yeah. So like we always want to improvise ourselves as well, right? So you can actually give us some feedback in terms of reviews, in terms of like this, right? So there are three things in the feedback. The very first session, that is why I'm just telling you this. I won't be repeating this. Okay. You have class ratings. So how do you like about the class, right? I mean, was the material was good and everything, right? Class ratings. And we have instructor rating. So how do you like the way of instructor and everything? Okay. And I mean, whether everything was clearly delivered by and the instructor has set the correct expectation and everything. And then we have some feedback. Let's say you want to send us some feedback so you can try this. Okay. And one thing that I would like to tell you here in all these options like class ratings and instructor ratings and everything, uh, how Edureka is calculating all those ratings and everything. I just want to give you an idea because otherwise people get confused what to choose. Okay, then and they make wrong choices, and actually that impact me as a whole as a trainer. Yeah. um, as a whole, like ratings of me. Okay, that is why I mean I'm not forcing you at all to give me a very high ratings all the time. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you the way it is actually happening inside. Okay, then you make your own choices. I'm not going to influence it or force it. So like we have actually four choices. Okay, so excellent, we have good, we have average, yeah, and we have bad, like this. So let me just tell you the how the score is counted. Excellent is actually +1. Good is like 0. It is not counted at all. Average is -1 and bad is -1. So this is how it is counted. Okay. So you should make appropriate choices, based on your experience, based on your things, and your feedbacks are always welcome. Yeah. So we will try to accommodate whatever we can, but that is like always welcome. Yeah. This is the way it is happening inside, right? So when you see excellent is counted, good is 0, average is negative, and bad is negative. So whatever your choices, I'm not influencing it at all, but just want to give you an idea because otherwise, you can make some wrong choices. Okay, it's the very first day. That's why I'm just telling you. Otherwise, I won't be repeating it. Yeah. So this is the idea. I just want to give you that idea once again. Recordings are always there, right? Let's say if you miss out anything, it is highly advisable that you go and check out the recording. Okay, we got a basic idea of cloud computing today. Yeah, we have talked about the benefits, we have talked about the different deployment models, we talked about the service models, we talk about everything that is required uh, before we go to the AWS, right? I've introduced the AWS as well. I have given you the idea about the free tier accounts as well. You set up your free tier account, guys. That will be good as early as possible. Yeah, because I will be using that free tier account for demo purposes tomorrow onwards. So you can also try this. It's not expected you do it parallelly. Yeah, You can you should do it later, because you might miss some minute details that I'm trying to show you. Okay. uh, it is highly advisable. Let's say if you have some experience in AWS, you can try it parallelly with me, no problem. But sometimes it happens, right? And sometimes it also happens like when I am doing something, so something goes wrong. Maybe, right? There are a lot of configuration settings that we have to choose. But that is also a learning. Yeah. I mean, you might also end up with that error. So I would like to tell you about that troubleshooting as well. So let's say if you face any kind of problem like this, how do you troubleshoot? What is the possible solution of it? Like this. So that will be the part of story. Okay. Makes sense. So it's not like I will give you uh like I will give you the things execution at all the time, right? I will give you that some real time mistakes that we can actually make. Then the way to troubleshoot that will be a real learning, guys. Okay, that's my way, right? So if you have anything to discuss, please let me know. I want to make this class as interactive as possible, guys, right? So don't worry, if you ask me to unmute, I will unmute you for a while, right? But not all the time it is possible. You can understand here we have a lot of learners, and their requirements, their background is very, very different, right? So we have to respect each and everyone's association here. Yeah. And we'll go slow, don't worry. We have enough time. We will understand each and everything in details. All right, guys. So how was the session today? Did you like it, or what was it? Give me something in chat box or whatever the way you like. Muridharan is saying great. Thank you, Muridharan. Right. Great. I hope you liked it. Yeah. Then, in upcoming sessions, uh, we will understand, AWS in real details, and we'll go like this. Yeah. Jyoti is saying very inspiring opening. I will get oh, that's I can promise you, Jyoti, right? If you follow my advices, and if you put your honest efforts into that, I am very sure that all of you will get your certifications. Thank you for that, Sanket. Mandala, I'm like overwhelmed that someone from armed forces is here and trying to learn from me, right? I'm really obliged. Yeah. I always respect the armed forces and like that, right? So it was good one. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, definitely. You can hope for that. Good, and your explanation is great. Yes, yes, definitely. I have all my patience, guys, right? But at the same time, cooperation from you is needed, right? Thank you so much for that. All right, guys. So it's time to wind up the session today. I will meet you tomorrow with a couple of interesting things in AWS. We'll go through it. Yeah, we'll start the EC2 service probably tomorrow. Yeah, then we'll deep dive. All right, guys. It's time to wind up. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead, or maybe a great night. Yeah, based on your time zone. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Reminder for the feedback, guys. Okay. Thank you.